Dear students, good evening and a warm welcome to CSAT Made 2025 series, where we discuss the most exam specific questions and concepts from the angle of CSAT paper of 25 year. I am Sachin Gopanal and our today's topic of discussion will be RC, Reading Comprehension or passages. And as always, we will learn the basic concepts first and then gradually rise up to exam level questions. We will do the same for RC now. Before jumping into the topic, we shall see what are the steps that are to be followed to solve RC questions. First, read the passage carefully and underline the key terms. First step. Then the second step would be to eliminate the options. Do not think of one correct answer and three wrong answers. Do not think on those terms. Think on the terms of one of the options being the most appropriate and the other three being less appropriate. And I have told you multiple times before, option elimination is the best method for solving passage questions. And I have also listed steps to be followed to eliminate options. I have listed 4 options. Let's take a look. First, eliminate the irrelevant, irrational and extreme options. Then eliminate the options which are not in agreement with what the passage is saying. Then eliminate the options which are not in agreement with the tone of the passage, and ultimately eliminate the less appropriate ones. This is the order in which you should eliminate options in the examination. Okay. Now, even though I have listed them, it might seem a bit vague to you. So, I will explain each of them in detail with a simple example. Okay. Let's look at that first. For explanation of the elimination method, we shall consider one small passage. This passage, it is actually just comprises of only one sentence, and we will use this one sentence to understand the option elimination method correctly. Okay. What is the passage? Public health challenges are diverse in a country such as India, and there is a need to address these across social groups. Okay. What does this passage say? This passage says that India, being a diverse country, its public health challenges are also diverse. So, it is necessary to address those public health challenges across multiple social groups, because India is a societally divided country. So, it is to address public health challenges of India, we need to do that across multiple social groups. That is the gist of the passage. Now, let's read through. Now, it is our task to eliminate one of these two options, which happens to be illogical, irrational, or extreme. Okay. Of these two options, one of them is either illogical, irrational, or extreme, and we have to eliminate that one. Which one would that be? Let's read the options. Addressing public health challenges must be India's first and foremost priority. Okay. Let's read the second one. It is necessary for India to address its public health challenges. Now, both of them, they more or less agree with what the passage is saying. However, the first option, it is extreme. Why? It must be the first and foremost priority. The passage only tells you that it is necessary, it is needed. There is a need to address these challenges. However, the passage does not tell you that it is the first and foremost priority. Someone might say security is the first and foremost priority of India. So, we will eliminate option A as an extreme condition. Okay. To further simplify this, I have given you a simpler analogy. This passage, it is similar to this sentence. Let's read it. The student is poor in knowledge in various topics, and she needs to work on it by studying multiple subjects rigorously. Okay, there is a student and she happens to be lacking in knowledge in various topics. So what does she need to do? She needs to study various subjects rigorously. Okay. Now, these two options, they are similar to these two options in that order. Addressing her lack of knowledge must be the student's foremost priority. The student needs to address her lack of knowledge. Yes, this is very rational and sensible, but it is quite extreme. So this is how we eliminate extreme options. They take it to they stretch the logical boundary of the passage to a large extent. So we will eliminate that once first. Next, what do we eliminate? Well, we eliminate the options which are not in agreement with the passage. Let's take an example for that. Same passage, same analogy, the options differ. Eliminate the option that is not in agreement with the content of the passage. India shows a variety of public health challenges across its multiple social groups. Yes. India shows the similar public health challenges across its multiple social groups. No. What does the passage say? Public health challenges are diverse. So the challenges are diverse. So there are a variety of challenges. India shows similar public health challenges across its multiple social groups. The rest of the sentence is correct. However, similar public health challenges, no. So if we have to understand it better, we can read our analogy. The same analogy, the student is poor in knowledge in various topics and she needs to work on it by studying multiple subjects rigorously. The student shows a lack of knowledge in a variety of topics. Yes, because she is poor in knowledge in various topics. Okay. The student's lack of knowledge is in similar topics. No, it is only various topics. Here it says various topics, not similar topics. So this sentence, this option, it is not in agreement with the passage. So we will eliminate this one. Now let's look at the third type which we need to eliminate. We need to eliminate the third type option. These options are not in agreement with the tone of the passage. Okay, what is the tone of the passage and how do we eliminate it? We shall understand. Same passage, same analogy, the options differ. The presence of various social groups makes addressing India's health issues more challenging. Maybe India's public health issues need to be addressed across various social groups. Yes. Okay. Now, here we are talking about tone of the passage. What is the tone of the passage? The passage says that India has public health challenges and they are diverse and India needs to address them across multiple social groups. But what does this first option say? The presence of various social groups makes addressing India's health challenges more challenging. This is not in agreement with the tone of the passage. I will tell you why after reading the analogy. Let's go to the analogy. Same analogy, student weak in knowledge, so she needs to work on multiple subjects. The vast syllabus comprising too many subjects makes the student's knowledge improvement more challenging. The student's lack of knowledge needs to be worked on across various subjects. Okay, there is a difference between a mother telling a child two things. For example, a mother can tell her child, you have not done your homework, or she can tell him, you go do your homework. There is a difference between them. The first one, it is more accusatory or accusing in tone. The second one, it encourages to take action. She might tell him to go do his homework because he has not done homework. Yes, that is true. But telling it explicitly, you have not done your homework, that is accusatory in tone. But to say go do your homework, that is, it encourages action to be taken. It is similar. What does the passage say? The passage asks for addressing it. There is a need to address. Yes, but what does this say? This says the presence of various social groups makes addressing health issues more challenging. This only states something that may be the cause. It may be cause, it may not be cause, that is debatable. Okay, but it is not calling for any action. But this thing, it is calling for action. This needs to be addressed. This is also calling for action. Though this is what I meant by tone of the passage. Yes. Here also, what does the analogy say? The passage, analogical passage says, she is poor in knowledge, so she needs to work on by studying multiple subjects. The vast syllabus makes the student's knowledge improvement more challenging. Maybe that is what might be the cause for her lack of knowledge. However, the passage, what is the tone of the passage? It encourages her to, or it asks her to work more on the various topics. So this second option does that, but first option, no, it just gives a cause for her lack of knowledge, but this one, it asks her to take action. This also asks her to take action. So based on the tone of the passage, we will eliminate first option in both the cases, and we will keep the second option. Okay, and we now learn to eliminate three kinds of options. Now we will try to understand the last type of option. This is the most difficult of all the four, because after you have eliminated extreme options, then the passages which are not in agreement with the content of the passage, then eliminating the options which are not in agreement with the tone of the passage. If you are left with two options ultimately, then you need to eliminate the less appropriate one. This less appropriate one, it might be quite sensible, not extreme at all. It might be in agreement with the passage, then it might also be agreement with the tone of the passage. However, despite all of that, we need to eliminate such an option which is less appropriate. How? We will read the options and you will get to know now. Same passage, India, health challenges, the diverse, so you need to address them across social groups. India shows a variety of public health challenges across its multiple social groups. Yes, perfect. India's health challenges need to be addressed across various social groups. Perfect. However, this one, the first one, it does not carry the gist of the passage. Just like the previous option where I told you, this option, it did not carry the tone of the passage. Similarly, this one also, it does not carry the gist of the passage. Here, the gist, it is need to address, but this one does not talk about it. India shows a variety of public health challenges across its multiple social groups, but this one, it does, needs to be addressed. So both of them, they are completely in agreement with the passage. However, when it comes to carrying the carrying the message of the passage, this does a better job than this one. So we will keep this one. We will understand it better using our analogy also. Same student, lacking in knowledge, so she needs to work on various subjects. Okay. The student shows a lack of knowledge in variety of topics. Yes, perfect. The student's lack of knowledge needs to be worked on across various subjects. Perfect. However, which one of these two carries the message of the passage more in a total? That would be this one, not in this one. Okay. Now, based on what we have learnt, we shall do a knowledge check for ourselves. This one, this is the passage. It was asked in CSE 23 paper. Okay, and this will also be your homework question. However, I will read this and break it down into packets of ideas. Then I will explain the content and tone of the passage. Then you shall, by yourselves, choose the correct answer by eliminating the wrong ones. Okay. Let's read the passage now. There is a claim that organic farming is inherently safer and healthier. The reality is that because the organic farming industry is still young and not well regulated in India, farmers and consumers alike are not only confused about what products are best for them, but sometimes use products in ways that could harm them as well. For example, since organic fertilizers are difficult to obtain on large scale in India, farmers often use farmyard manure which may contain toxic chemicals and heavy metals. Certain plant sprays such as datura flower and leaf spray have an element called atropine. If it is not applied in the right dose, it can act on the nervous system of the consumer. Unfortunately, how much and when to use it are not well researched or regulated issues. Okay, and these are the options. I have underlined the key terms. These are the key terms that I have underlined. Claim about organic farming. What is the claim about organic farming? The claim is that organic farm, it is inherently safer. Reality, not well regulated. However, the reality is that organic farming in India, it is not well regulated. Confusion, then there is confusion among both farmers and consumers alike because of lack of knowledge. Sometimes it can be harmful. It doesn't say that it is harmful, it says sometimes it can be harmful because of lack of education and lack of regulation. Chemicals and heavy metals, so because of lack of education, farmers use farmyard manure which contains chemicals and heavy metals, and then there are sprays. What kind of sprays? Then there are plant sprays and leaf sprays, which there is no knowledge about how to make use of them, so they can be used in such a way that they are harmful to us. Then how to use these organic products, it is not well researched. This is the gist of the passage, and we got it through the key terms. Okay. Now what is the content or tone of the passage? What tone does the passage express about organic farming? It is either neutral or a bit positive also. It is not negative about organic farming at all. It is negative about lack of knowledge of organic farming, or lack of knowledge of how to do it, and lack of regulation of organic farming. And then what does it talk about its regulation? It says that there is no regulation, so it says it suggests that its regulation is needed. Then what about education about organic farming? It suggests that its education about organic farming is needed. Then does it mention anything about market for it? No. Does it suggest anything of promotion of organic farming? No. Okay, it is repeated. Okay. Based on this, let's look at the options now. Which one of the following statements best reflects the most logical, rational and practical message conveyed by the author of the passage? In India, organic farming should not be promoted as a substitute for conventional farming. There are no safe organic alternatives to chemical fertilizers. In India, farmers need to be guided and helped to make their organic farming sustainable. The aim of organic farming should not be to generate huge profits, as there is still no global market for its products. Okay. Now, look at the underlined words. Based on this, compare them against the content of the passage and tone of the passage. Then go on eliminating them one by one. Eliminate if there is any extreme option, eliminate that one first. If there is any option that is not in agreement with the content of the passage, eliminate it next. Then if there is any option that is not in agreement with the tone of the passage, then eliminate it. Then ultimately you might be left with only two options. Between those two options, eliminate the one which is less appropriate. How? The less appropriate one, it will not carry the total message of the passage. It will carry maybe a fraction of the message. However, there might be another option which carries more comprehensively the message. So you will eliminate the less appropriate one. Do answer this and leave your answers in the comment section. We will discuss the answer to this question in the next class. Okay. Now it is time to answer the homework question of the previous class. This was your homework question of the previous class. Raj has 10 pairs of red, 9 pairs of white and 8 pairs of black shoes in a box. If he randomly picks shoes one by one without replacement from the box to get a red pair of shoes to wear, what is the maximum number of attempts he has to make? Okay. Now there is a box, and that box, it has how many shoes? We will count them. Red, it has 10 pairs. It has 10 pairs. Then white, it has how many pairs? 9 pairs. Then black, how many pairs? Black, 8 pairs. Okay. Then does he pick shoe one by one, or does he pick a pair one by one? He picks shoes one by one. So we will count them as others. So others, how many pairs do we have? We have 17 pairs. So 34 shoes. Here we have 20 shoes. Okay. So totally we have 54 shoes. Now he picks them one by one, randomly, and then we need to make sure that he has the one pair of red shoes. Now one pair, it has two shoes, right? One for left and one for right. So if he has to make sure that he has a pair of red shoes, we must consider the worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario would be, first he will pick all the other shoes. How many shoes are there? 34 are there. So we will assume that the first 34 picks, they will be all other shoes. Then there are 20 shoes. However, 10 of them they fit the left leg and the other 10 they fit the right leg. So we will consider again worst case scenario. So he picks only the left ones or the right ones, so we will say the first, after he is done with the 34 shoes, the next 10 options there will be only the left ones, and then only 10 right leg red shoes will be left in the box. So whichever he picks, he will get a right leg one, and he already has left leg red shoes 10, so he gets a pair. Now after doing these pickings and the last one he will pick, there will be it will definitely be a right leg red shoe. So now he will be definitely sure that he has definitely at least one red pair. So what would the answer be? 34 plus 10 plus 1, that would be 45. So your answer is 45. However, you might be confused with the word maximum here. It is a error in the sentence formation. Actually, UPSC, it has made a minor mistake in the sentence formation. Okay. I hope that you found today's class helpful. I know that RC is a bit confusing or a little more confusing for most of the students. However, do watch this video once again and you will understand the concept of answering the RC questions. Also, I have used one passage, right? One PYQ passage. I will leave the link to the original article from there where that passage has been taken in the comment section. Do read it, because what UPSC has been doing with its CSAT passages is, it will take an opinion piece from a few years ago, and then it will that opinion piece, it would be how long it would be? It would be maybe 1000 words or 1500 words. UPSC will take less than 100 words from it, from various parts of the article. For example, if the article is written in 10 paragraphs, UPSC will pick one sentence from the first paragraph, 2 sentences from the third paragraph, and 3 sentences from the last paragraph, and it will club them together and make a passage. And then it will expect the applicant to understand the gist of the original article from that passage and express and choose the option which expresses the tone of the original article. So do go to the link in the YouTube link in the comment section and then compare it against the passage given here. For example, see the length of the original article, see the length of this passage, and see from where and where the sentences have been picked, and then see if they have made any minor modification in the sentence also, and then understand the intent of the original article, then look at the questions and options framed in the CSAT paper. Then you will get a very good idea of how UPSC is asking passages questions. Okay, do this exercise. And reading opinion pieces in newspapers and journals. It helps a long way in answering your RC questions. So do read at least one editorial in 2 days, especially the Hindu. Thank you, and today's class is done. Do share the YouTube link to this video with your friends through WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups. Thank you, and most of all, a very happy studying.